Well, hello everyone, my name is Zachary O'Shea, and this is Box of Teeth. I have another horror-themed monster for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition for all of you right now. Here in May, we're going over a specific antagonist and his minions that you can use for a horror-themed Dungeons & Dragons campaign. That antagonist is the Groom. He's a riff on Frankenstein's monster, but he's not the first monster created. That's actually the Relict, who is a female, and she wanted to have a significant other, a life partner as it were, and created the Groom. However, that has not worked out very well at all, and now they are opposing forces of evil that clash against one another. He seeks nothing but her oblivion, as well as the oblivion of everyone else, including himself. The Groom and his minions cover three different subgenres of horror, that being scientific horror, cosmic horror, and body horror. We're going to cover another one of those minions today, which is the Lethe. A ghost without definition or personality, the Lethe is a pitch black silhouette, save for two wide, reflective, lifeless eyes. It is the spirit of a suicidal Nephthene cultist who imbibed a bit too much of the plant that they worship and has now become an entity driven to bring oblivion and the end of everything to please the stoic Groom. Accompanying this ghost is a moist gray fog that gets under the skin and dulls the senses. The Lethe is driven by one central task. It wants to bring about a state of nothingness to everyone and everything. This intense focus gives the Lethe the ability to wipe away memories and personalities from its victims in a deluge of necromantic magic. Most heroes are able to shake off this temporary fugue, but if they don't, it does cause permanent impairment to them until magic restores it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Lethe statistics for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. The Lethe is a challenge rating 5 medium undead that is chaotic evil. It's built off of a ghost's frame, so it doesn't have a really high strength, not a lot of hit points, an okay armor class, but it has many damage immunities, many damage resistances, and many condition immunities. Ability-wise, like any ghost, it has ethereal sight and incorporeal movement. On top of that, it has numbing aura, so the suppressive aura of 15 feet dulls the mind and numbs the soul. When a creature enters the area for the first time or starts its turn in this area effect, it has to succeed on a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, its turn immediately ends because it forgets what it's going to do. If it was concentrating on any spells and fails the save, those spells also automatically end. Much like a ghost, it does have a necromantic caress that does necromantic damage, and etherealness. Its big threat comes from its Flood of Forgetfulness, which is a rechargeability of 6. It does a decent amount of psychic damage if you fail the save, but it also basically causes confusion, and each round that you remain confused, you take more psychic damage. If you're reduced to 0 hit points by this effect, but then recover, unfortunately now you become afflicted with the Lethe Curse, which means that you have disadvantage on initiative rolls, intelligence saves, and skill checks until somebody removes Curse on you. That can be pretty detrimental to many a hero. The Lethe's name, of course, comes from one of the underworld rivers in Greek mythology that has to deal with forgetfulness, and that's where its abilities come from as well. It's a nice monster to throw against your heroes because it's going to make them experience some mental anguish. It's also going to make your players sweat as they start losing actions and the like, and we all know that action economy is really important in 5th edition. You can find the Lethe, the Groom, all of his minions, and hundreds of other horror-themed monsters, all for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. They're all perfectly free at boxofteeth.blogspot.com. If you're more interested in the non-Dungeons & Dragons role-playing content that I have, or the horror fiction that I write that includes Grease Paint right here, Book 2 will be out sometime this summer, so stay tuned. You can always go to www.zacharyoshea.com. As always, I want to thank you for your time and your attention today, and have a wonderful afternoon, or evening, or day, or whenever it is that you watch this.